What's up, guys? Your boy, 20K13. I'm going to talk about PS4 13 severely underrated feature you must try. Sony's little black box of wonder is in more homes than a dishwasher at this point. But that doesn't mean they done a good job telling you every nifty little tip, trick, or feature under the hood. Instead, that's where this article comes in, and especially where this follow-up piece will look at all the best functions that 1. Make PS4 owners glad they invest in the console all over again, and 2. Infuriate the Xbox One owner for not having something similar implemented by Microsoft. Make no mistake, people love to argue over which system is better. Rather like how football teams are constantly banned for blood whenever there's a matchup going down. And with E3 just round the corner and the console war about to be back up by some first-party ordinance to fire across the board, it's worth taking stock of which awesome feature the hardware in front of you is capable of. Some you might not even know about. So regardless of if you a new adopter, launch day buyer, somewhere in the middle, or still pondering on whether it's worth putting down the cash, always let the owner themselves tell you the best and the most surprising features they find along the way. Number 13. Remote play and custom button mapping. It might not be a big one to people in school, living alone, or likewise, but if you hogging the TV for the sake of slashing off some more orchids in Shadow of Mordor, it might be nice to let your significant others or house share get a look in. Enter remote play and Sony answer to every situation where you continue telling someone you turn it off now, only to pray a checkpoint is round the next corner. Basically, it's just your PS4 pumping out its visual feed to a nearby PS Vita, which the PS3 could go with certain titles on the original PSP, except with the Vita dual analog and far better visual capability than the original couple of PSP models. It's a perfect compromise that retains living room harmony in the process. In addition, although every PS4 game can be beamed to a Vita, nearly all of them come with custom button mapping option too, something that was the only thing getting in the way at launch, whereby players were left struggling to use the back touchpad as a replacement for the shoulder button. Head over to the PS4 link option on the Vita or system, remote play connection setting on the console to get started. Number 12. Use any USB mic as a headset. Chances are if you anything of a PC gamer or a bit of an audiophile, you'll be in possession of a USB microphone or 3. And although the PS4 itself comes with a small frameless set of headphones, complete with a built-in mic, you're free to essentially discard this and plug your own in instead. There are a few different settings you can tweak inside the respective section of the dashboard and then selecting device, but for all intents and purposes this is as easy as plug-in goes down. Number 11. Log in with your face. If you sharing the system with a few housemates or you just want something that a bit futuristic to show off every now and then, you can have the system pick up on your present and log you in automatically. You need the stove separately PlayStation camera to set things up, but after you purchase one and hop across to the settings, it takes a few snaps of your face to compile an image that then be used whenever you at the login screen. Luckily, unlike the Xbox One, that puts your console power state at the mercy of anyone who can run in and shout, "Xbox on!" something thousands of users didn't realize their dog had been saying for years. The PS4 will recognize multiple faces, but only log in the person who's holding the controller, asking you to hold it to a certain spot on the screen. Number 10. Double tap the home button to switch apps. The idea of a breadcrumb trail of apps is a solid one, but where many operating systems, both mobile and on console, fall down is in the execution of having the device remember every single step you took, as opposed to flipping between the ones that matter. In the PS4, if you hop out of a game and journey across the stage, the trophy screen, you can then dive back into the game with a double tap. Likewise, for then going between the game and then into the PS Store. The tap switch changes to flick between these two new apps, cutting out the previous middleman. So far, Sony has restricted this to one game, one app, meaning you can't hop between and own this game like Bloodborne and a download only title like Hand of Fate, but you can use it to jump between things like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and any one game. You also got fired up and suspended. Number 9. A handy 3.5mm controller headphone jack. You'd be surprised how many people simply don't know about this little genius space saver. But such is Sony push for whiz-bang graphics and first-party exclusive that the inclusion of a headphone jack output isn't high on the agenda. Not to be understated though, no longer do you have to trail a headphone cable across the carpet. And as the average gamer is 35, this helps immeasurably enlarge your condo and living spaces where the console is hooked up to a TV in the living room. You can choose to output the controller speaker function through the jack, thereby getting audio from in-game phone calls and character etc. Though your ear, SOCOM style, or pipe the entire thing out that way, essentially making whatever headphone you have wireless. Number 8. Control your TV with the PS4. Only possible on certain models, mostly Sony first-party units, you'll need to head over to the system section and tick the Enable HDMI device link option. This actually enables a couple of things, both that were initial selling points for the Xbox One that Sony have kept tucked away essentially as console function Easter eggs. Firstly, after you tick the box and power down the machine, if your TV is then also off, both will power back on when you turn the PS4 on. Secondly, if the machine is off but the TV is on, switching across to the respective HDMI sources your console is sitting on will kickstart the machine too. Pretty sweet, and one step closer to a unified household of media devices all simultaneously shaking hands with each other. Number 7. Remote installation of games. Used to be the biggest advantage console had over PC was the ease of getting home with your respective game, throwing it in the tray and watching the whole thing boot up instantly. Now though times have changed, and even the PS4 is at the mercy of an oftentimes lengthy loading bar for every on-disc title. Thankfully there is a workaround, but only for digital purchase. See, if you a big supporter of digital media and are happy to plump down the extra coins for a pre-order bundle, the console will automatically preload the game on the hard drive, meaning come launch day all that left is to unlock it and play. Plug in any USB keyboard to type. Although the official PlayStation app lets you connect to console as another replacement keyboard, it can be an unnecessary step continually powering up your phone and pairing the two just to get around using the PS4 inbuilt keyboard. Luckily, like the PS3, you can grab almost any USB keyboard instead. But unlike the last generation version, there are far more models compatible than the new hardware. It's a plug-in go type deal again here. With the machine only asking you to assign the new device to a specific user, then you set. Most useful for text entry fields like character name or search bars. It works with the inbuilt Internet Explorer app too. Something that if Sony would just let us download custom image from the phone for SMB background would be just perfect. Number 5. Suspend anything mid-game to resume later. Say you don't have access to a PlayStation Vita, and you nowhere near a suitable save point to end your conversation. It's used to spare the end for whatever progress you made. However, with the last firmware update came the inclusion of the Xbox One feature, suspend and resume, a feature that although it was advertised back at launch, had only started working properly in 2015. It's as simple as tweaking the rest mode option from the system menu to account for suspending titles mid-game, thereby meaning whenever you next hold the home button and enter rest mode, what you're playing will literally be suspended, just like on mobile phone or Sony PSP range. Number 4. Voice control come out the box. Yes, you can plug a USB microphone into the console if you like, but remember that wire-based headset you got in the box. It might not have had the best fidelity though, it's one earbud, but the unit on the main cable doubles as a speaker, meaning all the voice commands usually associated with the additional PlayStation camera can be used right away. Everything from leaping between apps to powering the console off can be done just by first addressing the unit as PlayStation, before all of the above commands come into play. Number 3. Offline updates and manage controller charging. You might have thought the rest mode was only to save power as a standby option, but since the last major firmware update, Sony implemented the ability to maintain the PlayStation connection to their server, meaning games can be updated even when it looks like it's turned off. Simply dive into the system setting and then select automatic upload and download to flick it back and forth. Note that you need a PlayStation Plus account to get the auto download working in rest mode, but the feature remains available to all users when the PS4 is turned on. Lastly, you can now set the machine to keep power going to the USB port, either permanently or for a 3-hour period, allowing you to leave controller plugged in for a quick recharge without worrying the PS4 remaining on for any extended period of time. Number 2. Use a PS Vita as a spare controller. An extension of the remote play functionality. Firstly, head over to the PS4 link on the Vita main menu to get the two set up. Then after the Vita is recognized by the console, it becomes the primary controller slot, replacing the initial DualShock and turning it off. You're free to control the PS4 using the Vita at this point, and you'll see the console feed coming out the louder touchscreen. However, if you then hit the home button on the DualShock that will turn off, the PS4 initially continues to treat the Vita as the primary controller and bring the new device on as a second pad. This way, player 1 can continue to use the Vita as their main controller, while player 2 gets access to the original DualShock 4. Very cool. Then number 1, let a friend play your library with SharePlay. Say you're the lucky spud who saved up enough cash to nab a copy of The Witcher 3, but your buddies are dying to see it in action, and they are all the way across town. Or say you love to play something that has local multiplayer by simulating someone sitting next to you, but your buddies are only available online. SharePlay is Sony's answer to such consumerism and the option for PlayStation Plus subscribers to give control to visitors mean anyone on your friends list can get involved regardless of how long they know you. Be aware that the user in question is controlling the console exactly as you would, while you sit back and watch. So that means your save game, progress, and information are all at their mercy. They have multiple cases online of assuming gamers having data wiped off their hard drive as they weren't paying attention when a visitor account was in control, so it's worth vetting your friends list beforehand. On the bright side, this means anyone on your friends list can play the title on your machine for up to 60 minutes, more than enough time to have a few games or something together, or try out the latest blockbuster essentially for free. Press the share button and dive into Start Share Play to get started, as although you can break region lock by befriending people overseas, it's still a very cool feature that rarely gets shown off. Well, that's it, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys on the next one. Peace.